Hello again, awesomes. How's it going? Um, thought I would start to had some extra time here this morning, so I thought I'd go ahead and get out some more videos to you regarding, especially today will be about Project 2B because that's changed from kind of the concept. Somewhat of the still the same idea, except we're going to use that screencast idea we did for Project 1A and just make that Project 2B and then go from there. So I know you probably already know that, but I did want to kind of discuss and talk to you a little bit about something be a little bit different about the Project 2B screencast, and so I just wanted to review those kind of that level of specificity for this particular review. Okay, so let's talk about that. So here it is, just by way of like said in the previous video that I was going to come back and edit our week 7 module page for week 7, and so I did. So here is so I put the Project 2B screencast is now there, and also if you go back to the projects page, you'll see that Project 2B has been retitled Project 2B screencast. So that way to just so that it's identifiable. Okay, so. So one of the thing that's interesting about the screencast, and what I always find really, really cool about it when I was watching your Project 1A, is it really causes us to really think more critically, and ultimately does help boost our grades on these projects when we go back and kind of reflect, present, describe. And I say here, like when we like teach, here's what I'm doing to do this one thing, right? We're explaining, describing, educating in a way what we learned. We're reflecting. We're doing lots of these what we call metacognitive activities, and also gives us a little bit of a experience with just presenting in general, with use of technology and media as one of our learning outcomes, as well as being able to communicate and collaborate with others in different ways. And then sometimes part of that collaboration is the individual's ability to be comfortable with taking something that they're working on. So, if you kind of look at the WikiHow project, it's your portion of 24 other people, right, working on their part, and then you're going to kind of like demonstrate or show, teach, present what you're doing, and that's what this kind of helps to kind of get us to think about. All right, so so I talk about this. That you may have more formal presentations to a group using a PowerPoint or other slide presentation platforms. You could be asked to do a less formal presentation to your team of collaborators on a project using slides or printed materials or video recorded explanation to be available for a specific audience to be assessed later or accessed later. So those some of the different ways we kind of think about how I think about screencasts and presenting them. A certain amount of like historical preservation to them because they're like on stored somewhere and someone can access and view later. All right, so we're going to use, so here's the assignment. Use the Screencast-O-Matic app or other app that must record your face, audio, and the screen, and explain in detail your WikiHow instructions page. For the screencast, you should address the following. How and or why did you choose the topic? Who's your target audience? Recall we've talked about audience, continue to talk about audience for the remainder of this class, that while WikiHow is an open format and anybody can sit down and type in wikihow.com and then type in maybe your particular, someone could stumble across it. But really trying to think about who specifically is your target audience, right? Think about the demographic that would actually not only just happen to stumble upon it, but go to WikiHow and maybe who's the key people, who are going to be the key individuals that are going to be like actually typing in your topic, right? Your subject. And what is your purpose for the instructions? So what else are we doing besides helping them accomplish something, which is great? Is there another intended purpose there, perhaps? So I'd like to a little bit about your process here. So how did you go about designing or outlining your steps? You can have the WikiHow page. Obviously, you want to have your WikiHow page up on the screen. And if you wanted to have anything else that you used or notes or something like that on the other side of the screen or flip back and forth between them and show what you did to any other notes that you made, or maybe you did an outline or you typed out some of your stuff first before copying and pasting it, whatever. I like to see that. How did you go about learning the WikiHow format? Show if there are particular pages that you found useful that you went back and used quite frequently, right? To maybe work on the coding issues, or maybe you went to the WikiHow Team Help page, or you did a little bit of both. What'd you do? How'd you go about incorporating graphics pictures that are free of copyright? Did you decide to just do your own pics? Or did you really get into the WikiHow community and find out how to use a lot of the pics that are open source right there that are kind of like designed by WikiHow that look like very WikiHow-ish? How'd you go about doing that? Show me that. Challenges did you face? How'd you overcome them? Tell me specifically what did you do? So after receiving feedback on the WikiHow revisions video, what revisions did you make and why? And how did you go about making those? So what did you do there? All right. So these are things I really want you to kind of go down and address and speak to, if you would please. And then, so this video, it could be 5 to 7 minutes. It'll, I don't know how you can get through all that in under 5 minutes, but, and they may be a little bit longer than that, but 5 to 7 minutes should be hopefully enough time. Okay. Capture your face, your voice, the computer screen. Address the points listed above. Utilize the screen to demonstrate, show your work as you explain it, right? Try to incorporate, and then of course, you get the little, and Screencast, I can kind of guide you along and say, I'm looking at this particular sentence here. I've got the yellow around my cursor. And then you can use other things, right? If I wanted to show you, okay, here's some things I'm working on here as I'm explaining things to you, et cetera, use as much as you can. Post your video, correct discussion post thread on our course WordPress site. I'll probably do that because I think they would be easier accessed from there. So I'll be back with you on that. And that's due this Sunday. So still worth 50 points. Everything's the same instead of just being a user test memo. And going through that process, especially in the summertime, sometimes it's going to be a little bit of a crunch time. And I think we can come pretty close if we like a little self-reflective analysis, if you will, and then think about the screencast idea and presenting our work. Here's what I've done, and here's why, and here's the things I did, things I overcame. Here's how I got into the WikiHow community. Here's how I felt I learned more about WikiHow and how to put my WikiHow together. I think will be extremely beneficial to us all. Okay. All right, guys. So that's it for now. So I bid you farewell. As always, I'll be back soon, but that should get you, so you're revising project 2A. So you'll do that first, right? Responding to the feedback, taking care of all those things. And then sometime between now and Sunday, you'll make your screencast video, kind of reviewing after you've done all those things. So that gets you through to that. I'll be back to talk to you a little bit more about project 3A. I've sent out a request already to you. Once I get an idea of what all the topics are and who's in what group, all the groups are set and the topics are set, then I'll come out with a project 3A video that will kind of address everything about project 3A as it stands right now. Okay. All right, guys, have a most wonderful week. Please do let me know if there's more I can do for you. Bye.